Welcome to the Trading Sliders Podcast. Here we go, episode number 42 of the Trading Sliders Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Bobby Puckett. Here with me in studio is Kurt the Flash Bennett. What's going on, Flash?
Not much, Bobby. How you doing?
Well, you want the honest answer? Or
I know how your day's been.
We're doing.
Yeah.
I did try to get a little bit of sleep today. I think it actually made it a little worse, but
Yeah.
So episode number 42. Before we get to our sponsors, this week's guest, TERBO Tyler Erb.
Yeah.
Uncle T. Days of Turbo, Turbo Lee, whatever you want to call him, TERBO Tyler Erb. This is, I guess we'll call it a part one. Not because it's a 2-hour interview, because we had some things come up during the middle of the interview, and quite frankly, it was time to go race.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it works out sometimes. But but you know, Turbo was gracious with his time in the middle of the Hell Tour. And actually, when I say middle of the Hell Tour, like they were switching the cars out as we were doing the interview, and Turbo was getting dressed as we were finishing the interview because hot laps were about to start. So it was a good fun interview. A little shorter than most of our interviews, but we've got a part 2 coming with Turbo. Uncle T, when the Hell Tour is over, which is tonight. Yeah. I got this a few weeks ago, so when the Hell Tour is over, we're gonna get with Tyler Erb here in the upcoming weeks, and there's some stuff that he wanted to touch and that I wanted to touch that we didn't even get into. So
right.
But this week's sponsors, Diesel Boys LLC. If you need anything diesel truck related and you're in the southern Indiana, Louisville, Kentuckiana area, reach out to Brandon Hooker and the boys over at Diesel Boy. Our deep dive is being brought to you each and every week by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. If you need anything, I know it's that time of year, pulling season. People start doing hay.
All the fair stuff.
Yeah, all the fair stuff. People start doing hay. Any type of automotive, tractor, clutch, anything you need, reach out to Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Our Crash of the Week, each and every week, being brought to you by D.O. Handyman Remodeling. D.O. Handyman Remodeling was able to visually see our Crash of the Week this week.
And I just posted that on our group too. So
did you get the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got somebody put the video on there and I reposted it on our group. So it's on there if anybody wants to look at it.
Well, good deal. And I'll put the link up to that and everything too. But David at D.O. Handyman Remodeling. If you need any type of handyman work done around the house, women, I know it's hot. I know your husbands are like, I'm not doing anything when I get home from work, but that window really needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Reach out to David at the D.O. Handyman Remodeling. He'll get you taken care of. 812-989-5002. And our Slider of the Week being presented each and every week by Walt at Speed Decals. If you need any type of vinyl work done, signs, banners, whatever you need, reach out to Walt at Speed Decals. And this week's Racetrack Spotlight, we don't really have a sponsor, but we kind of got a little bit of a sponsor. But JT's Trackside Catering is kind of come on board with us, a little thing in the works. But he's going to take care of the Racetrack Spotlight this week. So besides that, I think we got all the spill out.
Yeah.
We check that part off the list. On to the next one.
On to the next part.
So news of the week, Summer Nationals coming to an end. With over the weekend issues, it looks like Jason Fager is going to be the overall Summer National champion. That's another reason why I was waiting to put Turbo on, because I was kind of hoping Turbo won the championship this week. And,
I'm kind of sad it's over, though, because it was pretty nice every night. Just flipped the TV on and there was a race on.
Well, I got news for you, Flash. Don't be sad this week.
Yeah.
Because we got the Schaefer's Oil Spring or Summer Nationals, or whatever they call that thing.
Yeah.
The Southern Summer Nationals started. So it's every night this week. And we got sprint cars every night. There's plenty to watch this week.
There's still plenty to do.
Yeah, next week may be a little different, but this week there's plenty to watch. So the racetrack takes a stand. We're going to talk about that because there's been a lot of fighting stuff in the area, a lot of controversy. Yeah. Well, we got a racetrack that said, you know what, we're not putting up with none of that shit. Yeah. And 4 or 5 other racetracks joined in on the. Yeah. Said,
they both said we're following what they're doing.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. And just in case if you was wondering. In the late model world, Bobby Pierce and RTJ are still winning. Yeah. We haven't covered them in the last few weeks. Yeah. But they're still doing their thing. Yeah. They still, got victories this weekend. We're going to talk about our trip to Lake Cumberland Speedway. And in sad news, we got one racetrack that looks like it's going to be done. Yeah. We got fans that are bashing other racetracks that we're going to talk about, because there was a post put out by somebody that's very prominent in the racing industry.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna get into that. And Trading Sliders alumni are still winning.
Oh yeah.
If you've been on this show, you had a damn good week this week.
Yeah.
A damn good week. So that's pretty cool. And first things though, Flash, did you know anybody that was going to Mexico?
No. Yeah.
You didn't know anybody going to Mexico last week?
I didn't know anybody going to Mexico last week.
You know anybody going to Canada last week?
Nope.
New Zealand?
No.
Australia?
Nope. None of those.
All right. We're worldwide.
Yeah.
Trading Sliders is worldwide. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
5 countries listened to our dumbasses last week.
Yeah.
I don't know what in the world's going on, but this snowball is rolling.
Yeah.
And it just keeps rolling. So I teased.
Yeah, I think the sprint car stuff we talk about helps out a lot over in New Zealand and in Australia maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I teased Josh Harris. I said, man, that Drake sponsorship is worldwide. He said, what are you talking about? I said, man, we had 5 countries listen to you this week. He goes, I hope I didn't sound too bad. I said, oh, you sound just as bad as you normally do.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you each and every one of you guys that's helped pass the word along.
Yeah.
Help, share the show. This makes 6 weeks in a row that we had over 5,000 listens.
Yeah.
And that's just astonishing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that.
Literally, when we sat down to do the first one, we was hoping we'd get like 50 people to listen.
Yeah. Well,
so that's pretty cool.
Well, when we did our first show, I was like, I think I got about 10 people that don't hate me.
Yeah.
You're like, I think I got about 15. And I was like, well, between our wives and everybody else, surely to God we can get 50.
Yeah.
And 6 weeks in a row, we got over 5,000 listens, which is great on our end. I mean, we don't know why you hang out every week, but we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And hey, we'll be here every week, every Monday. So just come on back. We're closing in on our first year.
Yeah.
We're getting close, and we got a special show for that one. Well, if I don't drop the ball like I did on the Mother's Day stuff, we got something planned. I don't know how far it will go.
We'll see what happens.
But the Trading Sliders podcast, man, we're worldwide. I never would have thought that.
No.
And hold on, before I even get into that, how does people in Mexico listen to us?
Yeah.
I mean, I speak bad enough English.
Yeah.
There's no way. Dude's got to know English.
Yeah.
Because, that translator thing.
It might translate it good enough over.
Well, I'd like to hear one of our translated shows, because as much shit as I screw up, that'd be really funny.
That's what I was going to say.
We might grow.
Yeah.
This might start growing. We might be a Mexican thing. I never know. You never know. So, but yeah, I've
been to Mexico before. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, I've been to Mexico too.
Well, not the parts I was at anyway.
Yeah. Well, the parts I was at, it wasn't bad when we got there.
Yeah.
But we got through a bad spot.
Yeah.
I mean, you say bad, like machine guns and shit. Like, not too bad.
Yeah.
A couple army tanks. I mean, not bad at all.
Yeah.
But then we move on. So, but yeah, thank you to everybody that shared the show, and it's word of mouth is the best advertisement, and you guys are doing a really good job at that, so we really appreciate that.
Yeah, way better than we are trying to share it and all that. I'm horrible at it.
Yeah, I suck at sharing stuff. I do well. Not that I suck at it. I mean, I can put it out the first time.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm like a wife. I can put it out the first time, but we ain't sharing.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the way it is. But last week we had a discussion about multiple fights.
Yeah.
A couple incidents. Well, a few weeks ago, a video went viral at Port Royal Speedway where a driver, and when I seen the video the first time, I've kind of been in that situation.
Yeah.
So I said, some shit happened before then.
Right.
This wasn't like, because the incident on the track really wasn't that bad of a deal.
Right.
Like, the guy almost kind of wrecked himself, really.
Yeah.
Like, so when I seen how it went down, I said, first thing came to mind, something else.
Yeah.
Come to find out.
This is ongoing, yeah.
Yeah, come to find out, this is like 3 weeks in the making at 3 different racetracks. So, dude goes backwards, misses him the first time. He didn't grow up at the sports room.
Yeah.
Because usually you don't get a second opportunity.
Right.
He missed him the first time. The second time, hits him head on, rolls up on him. They get out and fight. Everybody's seen the video clip. Well, Port Royal Speedway says, we're not standing for that. And what I like about the whole situation is, because I was the one that said a few weeks ago, if you get in a fight, do something stupid, let's just ban the people.
Yeah.
Don't give them an opportunity to race and let them think about it. I'm not along the line of, this puts asses in the seats. No, it don't.
Yeah.
It does not do that. Kids don't need to be saying that. Women don't need to be saying that. So that's a whole nother discussion. We're not talking about that. But Port Royal says, all right, my man, you're banned here for the rest of this year, all of next year, and then you're going to pay a $10,000 fine that goes to the racing committee, to the Pennsylvania hurt racers. There's a fund going around that if a racer gets hurt, because Pennsylvania being a sprint car, so you got to pay a $10,000 fine to be reinstated. So, man, that's harsh. Then Williams Grove Speedway was like, that's a great idea. We're joining in. BAP Speedway says, absolutely, not coming here.
Yeah.
Lincoln Speedway, not coming here. Clinton County Speedway, who runs limited late models every single week, this guy's been not coming here.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like they're picking on the guy.
Yeah.
But what it's doing is it's setting a precedent. Hey, we're not putting up with that shit.
Yeah.
And Pennsylvania late model racing will be better because of that. They've already got sprint car racing figured out.
Right.
Now they're trying to figure out late model racing.
Yeah.
And, so hats off to all the racetracks that joined in. I know it sucks for the gentleman that lost his shit.
Yep.
But
I mean, everybody's going to know now.
Yeah. There'll be a lot less shit lost. I know that. Yeah. But
you better catch them down the street somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Not at the racetrack.
As we talked about in our interview with Turbo, any truck stop, anytime, anywhere, but not at the racetrack.
Right.
So as we talked about that with Turbo in the interview too, that was almost the highlight of the interview was the way Turbo was just like, yeah, that's the only time I ever moaned me off T-shirts. That's how I started. But yeah, so that was a deal that it needed to happen, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it should have quite been that harsh, but hey, harsh penalty is better than no penalty.
Right.
I'm all for let's make it hard enough on everybody where they don't mess with it again. So.
That we kind of had a deal like that last week too. Was where a guy got fined for getting out, and everybody saying, "Well, it's way too harsh what they did." And what you gotta. If you want to stop it, you got to stop it like right now instead of letting it go.
And here's, I said I wasn't going to talk about this.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. On the one in the local area, I'm not going to mention any names, but if driver A is that pissed off, he thinks he needs to do something about it.
Yeah.
Good chance driver B was in the wrong.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, okay. If not, for everybody else that's in Mexico that has no idea, I don't know how that translation came across. But just on a little local flair right there from the shit that went down, one of the most respected racers in the area pulled some bonehead shit. Yeah. So it probably needed to happen.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there. I didn't see it, so I don't know. But that's all hearsay.
Oh, yeah.
So, alumni winning this week. Tyler Nicely picked up 4 wins this week.
Yeah.
Current Summer National point leader going into the final night.
Started halfway through.
Yeah. So for the people that thinks that's a crock of shit because he didn't run all the races, well, rules is 12 of them.
Yeah.
Right. So and he won 7 out of 12 and got 3 second places. So he took a page out of Nick Hoffman's book.
Yeah.
I'm just going to win all the races and then not race no more.
Yeah.
He just did it at the end instead of the beginning.
Instead of the first, yeah.
Yeah. So Tyler Nicely, congratulations.
Kyle Busch has done that before.
Yeah, he did the same thing. Yeah. But Nicely took the win at Crystal Motor Speedway, Mount Pilgrim Motor Speedway, and Oakshade Raceway last night. So congratulations to alumni.
And I think all the ones he didn't win, he run second or third.
Yeah.
So
he pretty much won the championship. Yeah. And you almost kind of feel bad for Chase Holland.
Yeah.
Who traveled and went to every single event.
Right.
Did not take one off. It's like, damn.
Yeah. But the thing about that is that's going to make Chase Holland better next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, the tracks he's been to now that he didn't have a book before, to figure stuff out. So now he's going to be better when he goes next time.
Yeah, now he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
So hats off to Tyler Nicely. our buddy Drake Edwards picked up a big USAC national midget win.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And if you're new to the show, we encourage you to go back and listen to. That's where I probably should have done a better job and wrote down what episode it was.
Yeah.
But the name of the episode is This Is Our Life with Drake Edwards and Cameron LaRose. Go back and listen to Drake Edwards, because if you listen to that interview, you're not going to think Drake Edwards knows how to do anything but just hang out.
Right.
But the kid is a pretty damn good race car driver.
Oh, yeah.
And a hard worker.
Oh, yeah.
He builds all the axles and stuff for, the petty... I guess it's the petty performance racing. I always say it wrong.
Yeah.
But it's the petty performance racing. He builds all the front axles and works on race cars for a living and gets to drive race cars for a living. And the kid pulled off a monumental win, really. And he had to work for it because he fell back on the start.
Right,
He started on the pole and won. So you look at it and say, well, yeah, he should have. But he fell back to like 6th on the second lap.
Yeah.
Then got a restart, and sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah.
And, he got lucky on the restart, and everything worked out, but drove a hell of a race. And the one thing I want to say about that, I think they call it the Midwest. No, it wasn't mid. Some of the midget money mayhem week, whatever you called it out there. They went to 4 badass little racetracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were badass. That's a trip I wouldn't mind making one time.
Yeah.
I wish it was like in September or something, because I guarantee it's hot in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. This time of year.
As hot as it's been around here, I'm pretty sure Oklahoma and Kansas probably sucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As far as heat-wise. But, yeah, hats off to Drake Edwards for winning the Mitchell County Raceway in Kansas. Our buddy Jeff Watson, picked up a modified win at Rockcastle Speedway. Jeff Watson ran 3rd last night. We're going to talk about that when we get there. But Watson going back to a modified, and it looked like he never missed a beat. Jeff Watson he's a guy that I really wish he had. If he got a national late model tour now, I don't know if he would even do it.
Right.
Because where he's at in his life.
Yeah.
But, man, 15 years ago, it would have been nice to see Jeff Watson get thrown a bone and try to give it a shot. Because, the dude can flat out drive a race car.
Oh, yeah.
He might make your driver's meetings tough. He might. but he can drive a race car. So, but, yeah, Jeff Watson picked up a win there at Rockcastle Friday night and got a top 3 with the Cumberland Plateau Series. So when we get to that, we'll talk about that. And last but certainly not least, shout out to Brian Barber for picking up his 2nd Cumberland Plateau Open Modified win of the year. And when we get into our weekend trip there, it was a hell of a race.
Yeah. And there was something else really cool happened at the end of that race in the victory lane. So we're going to talk about that too.
We're going to talk about that. So when we get to that. So that's all of the alumni stuff. Now the thing that I really want to talk about, we lost a racetrack that was near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
We kind of known that Twin Cities Raceway Park, or what did they call it? Rock Crest the last time, they called it. But Twin Cities or Vernon, if you're in, central Indiana. There's reports going out today. I've seen that the property has been sold and it won't be a racetrack anymore, and it's going to be, we've seen
2 or 3
different things. Yeah. So it could be a apartment complex, or it could be a community center, or it could be a shopping mall, or it could be an apartment complex that leads into the community center where they can shop at the shopping mall. Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever it is, they better build it up a little bit because it's surrounded by a creek.
Yeah. Whatever it is, they need to bring in some stuff because the back 40, as they call it, floods a lot.
Yeah.
But it's
a shame losing a really cool racetrack like that. I've had some of my best races up there at North Vernon. It was cool. Well, Twin Cities.
Yeah, Twin Cities, North Vernon, whatever you want to call
Everybody calls it something different.
But one thing I want to say about this is, it was in rocky grounds for a while.
Yeah.
It wasn't what it once was in its heyday, but I've seen some of my most memorable moments at the racetrack came from Twin Cities Raceway Park, and I probably didn't go there, but I would say 100 times, which is a lot, but it wasn't like, we've been to racetracks all over the country, go 100 nights a year, you got a few memories that just stick out over all those years.
Yeah.
One of them was Levi Jones leaving the ballpark.
Yeah.
Like through the fence, through the fence, over the fence, into pit lane, But by the time they fixed the fence, Tony Stewart Racing fixed the car.
Yeah.
Levi Jones went out.
Started last and transferred.
And transferred from on a USAC Sprint Week race.
Yeah.
So that was one of the...
That was really cool.
Most memorable sprint car moments. And it's hard to think. That's like 30 years ago. Flash.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
You don't really realize how old you're getting until you sit back and think, you're like,
yeah,
damn, that was that long ago. Like,
I know it.
And another... this is going to be bad, but because I don't like all the fighting bullshit.
Right.
But I seen Don O'Neill in a World of Late Model race.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Okay, who did he get into it with?
Man,
was it Burkhofer?
No, it was
Dan Schleeper.
Yeah, it was somebody like that.
I think it was a black car from up north, and he clipped it. I think it may have been Schleeper.
Might have been.
I think it may have been Schleeper. If you're listening and you want to send us who, because we got part of the story wrong, but the part that we got right is the part that matters.
Yeah.
So somebody gets into the back of Don O'Neill as O'Neill, because O'Neill's not on the national tour yet.
Yeah.
He's running the Northern All-Star races.
He's still kicking butt. But
he's winning everything that he's getting in, but he's doing it on a regional level.
Yeah.
And part of the stuff that Don O'Neill's done is the reason why we say we need regional racing.
Right, yeah.
I.e. the summer national stuff. We need Jason Fagers. We need Tyler Erbs. We need Don O'Neill's. We need all that. But Don O'Neill was having a run of his life and got clipped. I'm going to say it was Schleeper. Could have been somebody else.
Yeah.
I almost said Jimmy Mars, but it was a black car that got him. It was a black car.
It wasn't Jimmy Mars. It was back then because his cars were all white.
White, I know. That's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking it was Schleeper that got him.
Yeah.
Turns him around. And Rick Asherman's on the call. And Rick Asherman, it's a shame that we don't have him no more because the way Dirt Late Model Racing is now, he's a guy that kind of spoke his mind, but he did it in a comedic relief.
Yeah.
And we need some comedic relief of all the nonsense that goes on here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
But Rick Asherman goes, well, that's not going to be good. I'm like, and everybody's like, well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
It was almost like on cue. Like, you couldn't make a movie up like this. People start throwing shit on the racetrack, and they have to go red flag and park the cars on the backstretch to clean the track up. Well, Don O'Neill didn't get the memo, so he's chasing whoever it was around the racetrack. They're running faster than what they raced to get away from each other. And then the record pulled out there, and O'Neill about smoked the record. But it was the longest red flag period that we've ever had at a racetrack for a non-injury racing accident. Yeah. It was a good 45-minute delay. But you remember who won that night, Flash?
No.
Billy Moyer.
Did he?
Picked up the win. And hats off to Billy Moyer for picking up another win at the Scout House this week. For a guy that's been DQ'd a few times.
Yeah.
It went the other way. So that's
pretty cool. We're talking about something happened 30 years ago probably. And one of the guys that won then won this weekend. So.
And the reason why I remember that, because he was in his black and yellow Watson car.
Yeah.
Because he had red cars forever. So Moyer was in the black and yellow Watson car. And that's why my car that I won all my races in was in black and yellow.
Yeah.
Because when we talked to Rick Irwin, he talked about, well, I can't do those numbers. Those were the numbers that I was trying to get done. But
exactly.
But Moyer said something in Victory Lane that day, and now this is 30 years later, and we have all the technology in the world, all the racetrack prep equipment.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you look on Facebook, all the racetrack prep experts.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's thousands of those.
Yeah, those people, I don't know what course they took, but I'm glad they took it because they all give their input.
Yeah.
But he said, because there was a little hole going in turn one. And the reason why O'Neill got popped, he hit the hole and got a little crossed up and got turned around.
Right.
So let me put that out there. So there's
which Twin Cities always had holes somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
somewhere.
That's kind of why I liked it.
Yeah. Well, hold on, Flash.
Yeah.
What kind of hose would you like it?
Yeah.
But so the track has character, as the kids say nowadays.
Yeah.
We can't say hose because the kids that listen now, they're being confused, man.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a rap video.
Yeah.
So the track had character. We'll go with character. And Billy Moyer said something that still stuck with me till today in Victory Lane. He said, this racetrack has character, and that's the first time I ever heard character.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that was even a thing until then. We always called them chug hose, or depends on what part of the country you was. If you down south, I say if you down south, it's rougher or shit. So it's something.
Yeah.
He said, well, the racetrack's got character, but that provides passing.
Yeah.
And Rick Escherman goes into like a 20-minute interview. Then they did a podcast way before podcasts were even out, right there on the front stretch.
Right.
While people are still throwing shit on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Because there's only 3 laps left in the race when all this happened. But with a 45-minute red flag.
Right.
So, but he said, with holes on the racetrack, it gets the cars upset, and these cars are too hooked up now. It gets the cars upset, and we can make passes.
Yeah.
Now, this is 30 years ago. He's saying the cars are hooked up.
Yeah.
We're saying let's go back 30 years to get the cars like they were. But that's when I really started paying attention to the racetrack, because I was new to dirt then.
Right.
And I was just like anybody else that was new to dirt. If there was a hole in the racetrack, I was like, well, this sucks. You got to race around that.
Yeah.
But Billy Moyer opened up my eyes to that. But that all happened at Twin Cities Raceway Park. And that was that time of the era was when I really fell in love with dirt track racing. It was North Vernon, Bloomington, and Brownstown. Which we always went to Brownstown. So I've been to Brownstown ever since I could walk. So that wasn't like Brownstown to me is different than other dirt tracks.
Yeah,
it's Brownstown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're just going to Brownstown. So that's.
I think I went to Brownstown. Probably I was maybe 10 years old. Was the first time. That's the first dirt track I ever went to.
Yeah, me too. That's the first dirt track I went to.
I was probably about 10 years old.
No. And so Brownstown's is different. But Twin Cities was for Indiana dirt tracks besides Terre Haute, it was big and fast.
Yeah.
And then you got Bloomington, but it was, that's where I was introduced to USAC. I see my first Indiana Sprint Week race was at Twin Cities Raceway Park.
Yeah.
And it's really a shame that we're losing that racetrack. I know people say, well, it's already been gone for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Which it has. But it's been gone with hope, because I know one time
it's had a couple times. It's been down for a couple of years like that, and then come back. So,
and I know one time, Mike Bichelli had a group that was wanting the racetrack, and when we talked about when we had our interview with Pat Sullivan, he talked about Keith Coons even trying to get Twin Cities Raceway Park, and we're about to segue into Pat Sullivan right now. Something else that I want to discuss real quick, but we're losing racetracks. And what sucks is we're losing good racetracks.
Yeah.
Just like when we had the Summer National race at Clarksville Speedway. About this is the last Summer National race at Clarksville Speedway. I know Clarksville over the last few years probably last 10, has diminished a lot. Not the facility, but just the racing in general, because the way the late models are now, the cars are too fast, too big to produce at Clarksville.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of late models in the area. There's not a whole lot of guys that, still race late models on a local level.
Right.
So we're losing Clarksville. Racetracks are going away as we speak. And I just did a little scroll when we do our upcoming events and everything, and I always check and see what's going on the races that we don't see and don't watch. But I've seen where, like Clarksville had, I think it was like 54 cars this week.
Yeah.
With 12 divisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So some racetracks are in dire needs, and that's where we're going to lead into this. Bloomington Speedway had an event this past week, and I could tell the crowd was light from the pictures that I seen.
Right.
But Pat Sullivan and the guys at Bloomington Speedway, there's some people called them out because the racetrack wasn't to Bloomington's standards.
Yeah.
I'm going to come off as a Pat Sullivan defender. And the main reason is because he's right. He's right in what he said. And I mean, he is right. But you do not go at people that invest time, money, and energy into saving places that you don't realize were gone.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
wouldn't even be there if they wasn't there,
When we talked to Pat Sullivan, we're going to do a little inside baseball.
Yeah.
When we go and talk to people, the interviews you hear the interviews after the bullshit sessions after the interviews,
or before
the interviews is stuff that I wish we could put out, but we can't on a lot of stuff. Because it's nor here or there. Some things don't need to be out in public, and I don't think Pat Sullivan will care that I say this because he's the guy that speaks the truth. But Bloomington Speedway was a done deal. Pat Sullivan put together a team to save it. Lincoln Park Speedway was a done deal.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, when people go to Lincoln Park Speedway, because we've always gone there, we've always been there. It's one of the nicest short tracks in the country.
Yeah.
But guess what? If somebody don't want to run the damn place, it's done.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It don't matter how
it's
nice.
It's a circle with dirt on it. That's all it is.
It doesn't matter how nice the damn racetrack is.
Yeah.
If people aren't there to take care of it, it's done, and it becomes something else.
Yeah.
I.e. shopping mall or whatever.
Apartments or
housing development, whatever.
Yeah.
Pat Sullivan and them at Bloomington Speedway did a monumental rework in about 3 months.
Yeah.
There's a new racetrack being built in Kentucky. They've been working on for 2 years, and it's still not up. They did more work than them in 3 months than what they've done in 2 years.
Yeah.
They've revamped the drainage. They fixed the pits. The stands are clean, incredible, smooth.
Yeah.
If you ever been to Bloomington Speedway years ago, the seats weren't always smooth.
No.
I mean, you sat on a hillside.
Yeah.
So it pains me that they put together an event. And first off, the drivers were pissed off because of the format.
Right.
Pat Sullivan tried to do a Legends event. Well, that's where we're at in our point where people don't understand what happened before. So 50-lap sprint car races used to always be a norm.
Yeah.
You qualify and then run a 50-lap sprint car race.
Right.
Quite frankly, because you didn't have no lights, so you got your stuff done during the day. So Pat Sullivan put together an event. They called it a Legends event, and you qualified, and you had 2 qualifying races. So you had like 2 15-lap races.
Right.
So you had like basically 2 15-lap features, and set the inside and outside, and that was your starting, and then you ran a 50-lap feature. It paid $3,000 to win, $500 to start.
Yeah.
So basically, it paid $1,000 more than what it normally would, but it doubled their start money to cover for fuel and tires.
Right.
On a local race, non-touring series, that's a phenomenal purse.
Yeah.
That's a great purse. That's a great payout. And if anybody knows anything about sprint car racing, you don't got to put, especially at Bloomington Speedway, you don't got to put new tires on every time you hit the track.
Right. Yeah.
So it was a great event. They had passing. The track was a little drier and dusty to Bloomington standards because Bloomington's always a hammer down red clay racetrack.
Right.
But we've been there all year.
Oh yeah.
It's been rougher and shit.
Yep.
And they've had some rock issues.
Yeah.
So what do when it's we got 2 weeks of 100-degree temperature? They flip it over, siphon the rocks back out, get it dry, get a base. The track was a little bit drier than normal.
Yep.
But guess what they didn't have? Rocks or ruts.
Right.
They didn't have equipment being tore up because of ruts. So a guy goes on and bashes the racetrack, and people bash racetracks all the time. It's almost
everyday thing.
Yeah, it
is an everyday thing.
It is an everyday thing. Yeah, people feel like I paid my $15. I'm going to tell these guys they're no good son of a bitches.
Yeah.
So that's just something. We're not even going to talk about that right now. Because this will be a 4-hour show and it's already late. So we're not even going to talk about that. So Pat Sullivan, and it's funny that I said this last week because I talked to Pat last week, but I didn't. What I talked to Pat about was just a quick little. It wasn't the subject.
Yeah.
It was something else that I'm trying to work on. So, but when I said Pat Sullivan's a guy that's seen enough racing that should be jaded, but isn't.
Right.
That absolutely loves the sport. It's funny that 5 days later, he puts out a post talking about how it's wearing on him.
Yeah.
And wearing on the people in charge. And if I would have known that last week, I wouldn't even said that because, but I was just speaking of, my view of Pat Sullivan.
But that also just shows you how bad it's getting as far as people being negative about every single thing they can think of. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, this weekend we had just goofy stuff that people were upset about, shouldn't have been upset about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and we're about to talk about that on our
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying we know for sure that it's just petty stuff that shouldn't even be worrying about.
So Pat Sullivan goes on there and says, "Look, I'm okay. I've had I was a teacher. I retired. I had a great academic career. If I walked away from this sport right now, I've done more than 90% of the people would ever imagine.
Yeah.
But I love this sport. But it does wear on you when you put so much energy into it. I didn't know this, and Pat Sullivan makes $0 at Bloomington Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody that works in the tower, $0.
Yeah.
It's a volunteer committee. So whatever money they bring in, that's to cover the property bill, the light bill, the water bill, and the purse.
Yeah.
So the racetrack lost money this week. He said that happens. We made money the week before, so we're not bitching about that.
Right.
His word, basically, is what he said. You know, he's a lot more politically correct and has a lot better language than that. But basically, that's it. So we're not butthurt over that. He said, but we try to do something different, and we need support. So we're trying to do stuff different. And the first thing you do, you get on here and you bitch about it.
Yeah.
Some guy yelled at him as he was walking up the stands after doing the interview. This place sucks. I want my $15 back. How in the world do you talk to a guy that traveled the road, that done more for sprint car racing, automobile racing, in one weekend than you've done your entire career?
Yeah.
I don't care. There's maybe 5 guys in all of racing that has done in Indiana. There's maybe 5 guys in all of the state of Indiana that's done more than Pat Sullivan, and that's just because they were financial backers.
Right.
Had nothing to do with putting in your energy, putting in your time, putting in your resources. I mean, he takes care of so much stuff, and it just pisses me off that we got people that always want to bitch about something.
Yeah.
Always. I mean, maybe I thought our sport was in a good spot. Then it's not. It's we've got some issues, but there's still good people left in it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna run the good people off.
Yeah, that's when you run the good people off, then it's gonna be over.
Then it's gonna be really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a deal. I just hate it for them, and I hope this week, Bloomington's got an event coming up this week, and we're gonna talk about. When we get to our upcoming events, but they got a $10,000 to win 305 Sprint Nationals.
Yeah.
Huntley Memorial for the Kevin Huntley family. They got cars. I think they've already got cars pre-entered from 15 states.
Man.
And they're going to back it up. So we'll just go ahead and talk about it right now since I'm in it. They're going to back it up with a $3,000 to win race the next night at Paragon. So the event that's coming up at Bloomington Speedway, they need support this weekend. Because they went out on a limb and tried something different. And talking about trying something different, they're having a $10,000 to win 305 wing sprint car race in Indiana.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are saying 305, wing sprint cars. If you haven't ever seen these guys, they put on a show. And that's probably the most competitive wing sprint cars there are.
Yeah.
As far as the most cars competitive, I think.
And especially at a place like Bloomington.
Yeah.
Because it gets a cushion and you can run, slow on the bottom. So they're not, you got a big half-mile track, the 305s are not really that fun to watch, I'll be honest. But on a quarter mile, elbows up.
At Bloomington and Paragon, same way. Because Paragon's got real tight corners. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome.
So you need to get out and support because we don't want Pat Sullivan to go tirade on us all.
Yeah.
But B, it's just the right thing to do. He's a guy that put so much time, energy, and effort into saving multiple racetracks. He worked. He was there at the 16th Street Speedway. I mean, if a guy like Pat Sullivan, who has the resources of Doug Bowles and Roger Penske, is asking for help, help is needed.
Yeah.
So get out, support. I know there's a lot of big events going on this weekend, but if you're anywhere in the central Indiana area, make the trip to Bloomington Speedway because we don't need another racetrack that was almost damn near extinction.
Yeah.
We don't need that happening.
Right.
So that's one thing I want to say about that because of the bitch session that seems to happen. Often a lot, unfortunately. So
yeah. And we're going to talk about something else, too, when we get to our thing with what some stuff Brandon Hargrove said last night in the drivers meeting. We're going to get to that, too.
Well,
it kind of on the same
on the same thing, because well, we'll just go right into that, and then we'll talk about we'll do the Mount Pillier thing first. This week's Slider of the Week is being brought to you by Walt at Speed Decals. It happened at Mount Pillier Speedway in the UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals. The Slider of the Week was actually for second. Cody Overton and Trey Mills absolutely traded haymakers with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Back and forth. And then our guest this week, Turbo, had a little mishap. That one thing, I like the rule, if you're stopped on the track, you're a part of the caution.
Right.
Because it takes a judgment call out. Because we're about to talk about a judgment call.
Yeah.
So it takes a judgment call out.
Right.
But on Turbo's behalf, not because he's our guest this week, because the way Chris Steffen explains the rule, Turbo should not have been penalized.
Yeah.
His car was not stopped. It was just going backwards.
Yeah.
He wasn't stopped.
Yeah.
When the caution came out, the other car was stopped. Turbo was rolling his ass down the racetrack backwards.
Yeah.
So he didn't say nothing about that. But that's just one of those things that, Turbo had a cussing incident earlier that week. And being the marketing genius they are, they had T-shirts out the next day. I'm sorry for cussing. But that's something he should have been cussing about, because he was not stopped. Was he part of the caution? By judgment call? Yes.
Yeah.
By their rules, all four wheels must be stopped. He was not part of the caution.
Yeah.
He was just racing backwards. But Turbo had misfortune, got into the lap car, and when that happened, Cody Overton took the lead, but Overton started sixth anyways, and he was coming. So we were going to see a classic there at Mount Pillier. Mount Pillier. It's one. I got to butcher something.
I tried to listen to him the other night when they was talking to him, but I don't know if they even knew how to say it really. So,
and Chris Steffens is like me. He talks so fast. If he screws it up, he just keeps going.
Yeah.
So I was
like, you don't know what
he's saying. But fun fact about that racetrack: that's the only racetrack in the state of Indiana that I have not seen a race at.
Oh yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Got rained out. I got rained out there in Gas City in the same night. It's one of those trips.
Yeah.
But not seen a race there. So we need to get up there, especially with the Milkman having it now and pouring some water on it and giving us a cushion.
Man, that was a good race.
Yeah. And the sprint car race was good. I seen it this year. The Trey Osborne took the win. So so Mount Pillier.
Pillier.
However we're saying it.
Yeah.
The Milkman's racetrack. How about that?
Yeah.
This week's Slider of the Week. So now we're going to talk about our trip to Lake Cumberland Speedway.
Yeah.
Kurt and I go down to Lake Cumberland Speedway for the summer. This is the second Summer Sizzler we've been to in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of the same name, but I don't make the flyer, I don't make the event. So,
right.
It was the Summer Sizzler. Us, it was the Ramsey Excavating 25.
Right.
So they call the event whatever they want.
Right.
But it was a Ramsey Excavating 25 for us. But we ended up with 23 Cumberland Plateau Oval Modifieds. Buddy and sponsor of the show, David, made the trip down.
Yeah.
And it was good to see him and his girlfriend or wife. They're not married, are they?
They've been together long enough. They might as well be married.
All right, David, you call her whatever you want. You and your lady friend.
Yeah.
It was good to see them to come down and check out a new racetrack. And, that's the reason why we do racetrack spotlights. And that's the reason why we talk about so many racetracks. We want people to get out.
Actually, a fun fact about that, David's been there before one time.
Oh, yeah?
The only time I ever raced at Lake Cumberland Speedway, he was with me that night.
Okay.
So,
good.
So he was there.
Yeah.
He was crewing for me.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Me and him and my dad, we made a 3-day weekend that weekend. We went there, Crossville, and Bulls Gap. Well, 3-day show. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
2 of those 3 are really badass.
Yeah.
So, I'll let you be the decipher, but 2 of those 3 are badass.
Yep.
But so we went to Lake Cumberland Speedway. First and foremost, hats off to Brandon Hargrove.
Yeah.
I know Brandon Hargrove gets a lot of shit, and honestly, sometimes it's warranted.
Yeah.
Sometimes he brings the shit on himself.
Yeah.
But he's got Lake Cumberland Speedway looking super nice.
Oh yeah.
He worked his ass off on the track surface. It was
raining. We drove through rain 3 different times to get there.
And not only that, it was 100 degrees all week, and he cut the track up enough. and there was plenty of moisture put in the racetrack.
Yep.
We had a cushion cut in the top of 1 and the top of 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was mistakenly or if it was done on purpose, but it provided for great racing.
Yeah, I think the mod race was probably the best race I've ever seen there.
Yeah, it was.
I've been there quite a few times, and that's probably the best race I've seen.
And it was about to be really good.
I mean, up to lap 12, it was like
the first 13 laps was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The last 12 wasn't bad.
They were still good.
They were still good, but it wasn't what the first 13 was.
Right. Yeah.
But with that being said, Brandon Hargrove made a statement at the drivers' meeting that I agree with 100%. And I call a spade, and when something's right, we talk about it.
Yeah.
And he said, well, first off, for a racetrack to survive and not have issues, it takes 85 to 95 is your car count.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not going to give you the economics of it.
Right.
But you got to have close to 100 race cars in your pits for everything to work out.
Yeah.
For you on the positive side.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. I won't give the total economics because that's some stuff that people don't want to know about and it bores us.
Yeah.
But he thanked every driver for coming to his racetrack and said you have plenty of options to go other places. And there was 4 other tracks within an hour running of him.
Yeah.
He said, and you chose here, and I appreciate that. But what he said after that makes me realize that Brandon Hargrove is growing up.
Yeah.
And he, when he took over the promoting job from his dad, when his dad got sick and then, eventually passed, he was a racer.
Yeah.
Brandon Hargrove went and raced, and he didn't give a shit about running a racetrack.
Right, yeah.
What 20-year-olds do.
Yeah.
They want to race.
Yeah.
So, in his defense on that side, did he do some things that he shouldn't have? Probably.
Yeah.
Did he, address some situations wrong? Probably. But what I like that he said was, take everything here. We got a new flagman tonight.
Yeah.
He's never done it before, so it's probably going to be screwed up. We're not perfect. All my guys that's working here has been hot. It's been heat. It's been, heat all day. We got rain around. So if you think we make a bad judgment call, come to me, chat my ass.
Yeah.
Come to me, bitch at me.
Yeah.
Don't bitch at them. They're volunteers.
Right.
Bitch at me. He said, and I like that. But then he followed it up with, and if you're not going to support my racetrack,
yeah,
support a racetrack because all racetracks need this.
Yeah.
So
that's what I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. So shout out to Brandon Hargrove because I know, like I said, there's been some situations where he was probably not in the right, but this situation here,
yeah,
he's 100% in the right.
Yeah.
And they did a good job and. All the guys there.
And they worked their butt off on the track, even from the time we got there. And plus, he had videos on there from the night before, or 2 nights before, where they was out there working on the track just to get it in good enough shape, with the heat like it was. And that's in the heat this summer. That's probably one of the better racetracks I've seen.
Yes, the racetrack was phenomenal. Absolutely top to bottom.
I didn't see dust one time.
No, there was no dust.
Yeah.
But it did slick a little bit in the middle, so you could race all over. It had a cushion. You could run the bottom. Hell.
They was 3 wide.
And then the modified race, which I'm about to talk about, in the modified race, they were 3 wide for 6 laps. It wasn't like one time.
And Cumberland's not easy to run 3 wide on.
Just the front stretch.
Yeah.
Everything else is a little narrow.
Yeah.
But before we talk about the race, Brian and Nick, Brian's the announcer, Nick's the scorekeeper. Those guys up there in the booth were phenomenal to work with. Worked with them last year. Super great. Brian does the Lake Cumberland Speedway memories page, and he's putting up old races. We talked about this during the intermission. So he's got races from like 82 to 94. Some guy donating him all these VHS tapes from Taylor County Speedway, Lake Cumberland Speedway. So once a week, he's trying to put up an old race on this on the Facebook page. It's
cool.
called Lake Cumberland Speedway Memories, or Lake Cumberland Speedway: The Memories of. Is the name of the Facebook page. But so I want to give them a shout out on that, putting up old racing videos.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I'm talking about like Finn Watson, Jeff Watson's dad in Super Late Models. And the race director there, I knew him, but I was like, I don't know. When I did the driver's meeting that we're about to talk about, I knew him. I was like, where do I know this guy from? Well, that's Tim Taylor, the super late model racer, the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
So we're hanging out there, and
yeah.
you know, I'm talking like, and he's talking about racing against, you know, with, you know, Michael England, and you know, he raced against all those guys, and
right.
you know, when they were kids, he helped them out and stuff. But he was talking about being at the, you know, he raced the last race at he won the last race at Barron County in the late model that they had at Barron County. So that was a cool deal. But those guys, you know, did a great job, and the race itself was something that Cumberland Plateau Oval Modified Series. We've been striving to provide modified racing in a part of the country that doesn't have modified racing.
Yeah.
Sometimes car counts have been great. Sometimes they've been okay at best.
Right.
Depending on weather and stuff. Lake Cumberland Speedway usually averages about 20 cars. And that's just what they average for their modifieds. We had 23. Or 24. 23.
23,
yeah. We had 23 modifieds. A little bit down from our car count average. But the quality of modifieds that we had there, I would rival with a lot of the Summer National races, USMTS races.
Oh, yeah.
This, you know, the cars that we had there this week, I mean, we had former American Modified Series champions, former, you know, top 5 UMP National, you know, series guys. I mean, well, the modified feature had well over 1,000 feature wins in the field.
Oh, yeah.
And that's saying something. But the race itself was great. Leading up to the race, there was a couple hiccups.
Yeah.
So to speak. But I don't understand why guys complain about everything.
Yeah.
And when I say complain about everything, I mean absolutely bitch about everything.
Yeah.
I have no idea why you know, why guys do that. We had an issue in qualifying. One thing when I was talking about the race director Tim Taylor, he's not real loud.
Yeah.
So he's on the receiver, and then we have a car go out, and he says 99, you're coming to green. Well, the 99 was already under power. Yeah. So when he says 99, all the 99 hears is like the caution's out. So he stops. So the 26 goes around him.
Yeah.
They wave the green. Well, the 99 gets back on the gas from a dead stop on turn 4.
Yeah.
So we go our 2 laps. 99 pulls in. That we give him another lap because he stopped. I did not know by doing a driver a solid would get you 35 messages and guys pissed off.
Well, one thing I'm going to tell you right now, Bobby, it's your fault because you gave too many of them your phone number.
Yeah, I did not know that.
You need a phone for just a racetrack. You don't.
Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ. First off, I didn't make the call. All right. But the call was the right call, so I'll defend the call.
Yeah.
I had one guy tell me, he got 4 laps. I said, was you at the driver's meeting? He said, yes, sir. I said, what did Brandon say? About what? I said, about the flagman. He's new. I said, yeah. So he waved the white and then the checker. I said, so he only got 3 laps.
Yeah.
But he technically only got 2 because his first lap he stopped.
Yeah.
We ran 4 laps. I said, well, if we would have counted his 4th lap, he'd have been quick time.
Yeah.
So quit bitching.
Yeah.
We counted the 2nd and 3rd lap. The 1st lap didn't count. The 4th lap didn't count.
Yeah.
So quit bitching. So I was just like, Jesus Christ. But, and then not only that, Flash, did you know that 10 to 12 cars is way too many to put in a heat race?
Oh, yeah. That's what
I know now.
Yeah.
That's
what I heard.
What they think.
Yeah. But I'm like you, though. What's going to happen when you get to the feature?
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's where my answer is. I'm a smart ass.
Yeah.
The guy goes, well, I mean, with 12 cars, we're going to tear up shit. So what are we going to do?
Yeah. They had one caution.
Yeah, one caution.
Yeah.
And
raced like crazy. So
Adam Ogle came from 10th to 4th.
Yeah.
So in an 8-lap heat race.
Yeah.
Or no, 11th to 4th.
Yeah.
In an 8-lap heat race. So here's the thing, guys. Because we do something a little different than most racetracks do, I'm going to explain to you the heat race deal. If we have 24 cars, we are having 2 heat races. If we have 25, we will go to 3.
Yeah.
25 to 30. you can run 10 cars on a heat race. We're not running any Thunder Valleys, no fifth miles.
Yeah.
Every racetrack we go to is plenty capable enough to have 10 to 11 cars on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Period. I don't care. One of the gripe was, with that many cars, we're going to tear stuff up. My answer is, if you're going to tear stuff up in 8 laps with 12 cars, 25 with 24 is going to be tough.
It's going to be a demo derby.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad. So, I mean, I don't want to be an asshole, but if you tear up now and you save us problems in the future, so be it.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go ahead and get it over with. That's what I wanted to say. And that's kind of what I did say.
Yeah.
Kind of helping run the series. I don't know if I should have said that, but hey, it is what it is. Heat races were great. The A main was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, absolute best race.
Best race of the year so far.
Yeah, best race of the year that we've had for sure. Trent Young, Blake Brown, Brian Barber were going at it.
Yeah.
Absolute dogfight, 3 wide, changing lanes. Blake Brown running the middle. Which you don't really see a whole lot anymore. He's either top or bottom, but he couldn't run the bottom because Barber was there, and he couldn't run the top because Trent Young was like, "This is my area."
Yeah.
But on lap 12, Blake Brown and Trent Young got together, coming off turn 2, and then Brown got up in the wall on the backstretch, and going in 3, Brown cut down the right front, and caution come out. And then I was like, well, that sucks because, we had a 3-car battle, but we're still going to have a 2-car battle.
Yeah.
While that was going on the 2-car battle, Colton Profit and Jeff Watson were throwing haymakers at each other every lap. One on the top, one on the bottom. Watson even threw a slider. And Watson's not a real big slider guy. He's not a slider guy. He's not a TMS. Yep. So Watson kind of, was feeling racy.
Yeah.
Caution comes out, we go by green, and then in the very next lap, Trent Young's left rear go down from the contact.
Yeah.
And then Watson got a little free when I talked to him after race. I just got a little bit of free. But Profit had a shot at Barber for a couple laps, and then Barber won the race. So,
that track though that's one of the places where you're on the wheel the whole time. I mean, you don't have no rest at that racetrack.
Yeah, it's not a big racetrack, but it races like Eldora.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's one of those places, but
it's one of those places too where you're driving off in the corner and you can't see what's coming off the next corner because the way the wall is there. Unless you're running the very top, you can't see across the. And they got stuff pitted in the infield, so it's not like you can look across to see the other corner. Yeah. That's one thing I do wish they wouldn't do is put the big trailers in there. But I mean,
well, here's the problem though. Where are you gonna park them?
Yeah, I know. Because that's what I said. After seeing the pits, there's no place really you can put them. So
it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, and they didn't have very many of them in there, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, most of the toters and stuff they keep outside.
And their bleachers there, like.
Skyscrapers.
I'm trying to think I don't even know how you compare sitting in those bleachers there.
It's trying to sit on a ladder.
Yeah, sitting on a ladder pretty much. So you can get up if you just go up like 3 rows, you're up high enough to see over the whole track. So it's pretty good. So
and this week's DO Handyman and Remodeling Crash of the Week came in the Crate Lake Model feature. The number 92 of Hank Baird making his fact very first late model start.
Yeah.
Progressing up from the pure stocks.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that, he was in the wrong because it was a racing incident, but boy, it sure did look like he panicked at the end.
Yeah.
But hats off to the safety crew there at Lake Cumberland Speedway because, Hank goes down the corner, they get together and he spins up towards the racetrack, gasses it up right when he gets to the wall, hits the wall, goes straight up in the air. Was my assessment right? He was what, probably 10 to 15?
Well, the front of it was, because the back, on the video, you can kind of see it. It looks like the bumper's above the wall almost.
Yes.
And then he kind of fell back over, but I didn't know that when he fell back over, he got clobbered again.
Oh, yeah, no. When he fell back, it was solid on the roof, and then he got hit in the passenger door wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was leaving the ballpark.
Yeah, that's one place you don't want to leave the ballpark.
Yeah, and...
this week
we might have one leave the ballpark.
Yeah.
So that was one of those wrecks. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know how my race pass keeps running the whole time?
Yeah.
When there's a red flag for the live. I mean, so when you're up there and you got the live computer, you can see 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what it took to turn the car over, clean the track up.
Yeah. That was
a late model that was flipped, a hard crash with 4 cars involved.
4 cars there too. Yeah, that's what I said. That was, so they did a phenomenal job all night. Those guys. For the crew they had, because I think they were missing a couple of their guys.
Yeah, they were short staffed.
Yeah, they were short staffed. A couple guys, like I said, and a new flagman. Yeah. So I mean, they did really good.
So that was
I gotta give them props. I mean.
Yeah. So that was what our trip was. That's how that's how our trip went. So we're gonna get off here and catch the interview with Turbo, and then come back with upcoming events and our racetrack spotlight brought to you by JT's Trackside and Catering. It's time for the Trading Sliders Deep Dives presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This week's Trading Sliders Deep Dive, we have the man with 10 nicknames out of New Waverly, Texas, Uncle T, Turbo Days, or Days of Turbo. How do you come up with all these nicknames? Tyler Erb.
They're not self-given. People just come up with stuff, and this is our General Lee lookalike, whatever. And we broke a motor in our other car, so didn't really have time to change it or want to means whatever. So we'll work on that Monday. So yeah, we got this car out and raced it last night at Red Hill for the first time since Eldora, and ready to go here at Hopsaw tonight.
Well, speaking of the General Lee car, how cool is that John Snyder hit you on Facebook and was pulling for you? Because, a kid like, I say a kid, you're a few years younger than me, but, I grew up a Dukes of Hazzard kid and all that, and the Days of Thunder stuff, but how neat is that where you're just like, damn,
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. There's a lot of people that pay attention to what we do, I guess, and, it's, none of us are celebrities by any means, but I guess, a lot of people do pay attention to dirt late model racing, and yeah, to catch people's attention at time is it's a pretty cool deal. And I guess I'm not the most hated person in the world if I can get some of these guys to repost it and share it and all that. So yeah, it's really cool.
Well, here's the thing: you say that you're not a celebrity, but in your world, kids look up to you. I mean, there's more Tyler Erb shirts anywhere than There's kids that they just always, I want to see Turbo, and there's younger kids now that probably never seen the movie Days of Thunder, but because of you, they're watching that. So in your world, you are a celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, we have a pretty good following, I'd say. I'd like to think just because I'm a good person or whatever, but yeah, kids, I don't know what they relate to, why they like me so much. I don't know if it's the movie with the snail or whatever, but it's easy to say, easy to spot our car most of the time. And yeah, we definitely, I feel like most of our supporters are under the age of 18, so it's pretty cool. And I feel like I can relate to them because I feel like I'm 17 years old every day. I don't feel like I'm getting any older. So yeah, it's really cool. And I'm happy that we give people a good reason to want to come to the races.
How does a kid from New Waverly, Texas, in the home of IMCA modified and stock car world, end up in Central Ohio being the face of dirt late model racing?
Just race street stocks and all that, and just like everyone else, I watched Dirt Vision, Flow, Dirt on Dirt at the time, and seen late model racing and thought it was really cool. And my parents had a car, and we just started putting in grinding out all the bad days. Really, it wasn't a lot of good days when we started, and I just kind of seen this area, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, is like the hub for late model racing, and that's what I wanted to do, and just work towards that, and met a lot of people along the way, got lucky, and picked up people that had some money that liked the same things I do, and was just able to continue to race for a living and come to all these places and events, and had a little bit of success along the way, and hopefully it doesn't stop here anytime soon.
Well, one thing I like about you is you're a guy that, in the dirt late model world, we have so many guys that are afraid to say something. They're afraid they're going to lose their job or piss off sponsors. And you're a guy the exact opposite of that. I mean, you're Mr. Personality. You're just like, here it is, piss on it. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. That goes a long way, as far as the kids and just selling merchandise in general, because you're you. I mean, that's who you are.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't feel like any of us are famous or celebrities, and I think it's really easy to get caught up in such a small world that we're in, and these guys, I'm not singling anybody out. It's just a lot of people think because they want a Lucas Oil race or whatever, there's somebody, and truth be told, nobody gives a shit. So it's just it's whatever you want to make it to be. And I've had the same personality since I'm an only child. Maybe that plays a role into it, I don't know. But I just I treat everyone as if I could be talking to President Trump or Elon Musk or the guy that cleans the floor at the Flying J, and I just look at everybody the same, and I want them to look at me the same way. So that's the way I go about things.
So that's where the Uncle T moniker comes in. I mean, you just love everybody.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people I don't like, but it's I give everybody the same shake, and that's what I want out of people too. So I want every interaction, or when you meet somebody, to be genuine and not based off of what you think or you think and whatever my opinion is of a person, when I'm done, that's what I think of them, no matter what.
Yeah, it is what it is at that point. Speaking of like merchandise and stuff, I don't know what one of your shirts have sold the most, but the anytime, any truck stop, anywhere shirt has to be up there. And the reason why I say that, I was at a sprint car race last night, and there's a guy sitting in front of me with that shirt on. I'm thinking, I wonder how many of those damn shirts he sold.
A good bit. That was like our first. I mean, I had sold some shirts over the years, but that was like, I guess, like our coming out party shirt, because it was just the incident with Bobby or whatever at Cedar Lake, and I had just bought a van and started actually trying to sell t-shirts. Before, when you buy shirts, everybody always buys a load of shirts, you give half of them away, and you make $400. So yeah, it was that's probably been our best seller of all time.
I mean, I've seen them all over the place.
Yeah, and like we run out, and then I did them originally at first, and then Matt's like, well, we need to reprint them. I'm like, hey, people keep buying them.
Keep selling them.
We sell them as much as we want.
One thing that I have noticed about you, it seems like the last 2 or 3 years, you went off the Lucas Oil Tour. You was like, piss on that. I don't like going south. And for a guy that announces for a touring series, I agree with you 100%. I know I'm going to piss people off, but you went on what you call the fun tour. Most people call the Summer Nationals the Hell Tour. You call it the fun tour. You're just going to go race where you want to race. That takes a lot of balls, just to turn down the guaranteed money. So with that being said, how stressful is it for you to make money now? Because that puts a team in a financial burden, and knowing that, hey, we're not getting this guarantee.
I mean, I don't believe in participation trophies and things of that nature, and running the tour has perks and benefits, and you need tours. Like, you need Lucas Oil, you need Outlaws, but I don't want to just... It's like working a 9 to 5 knowing you're going to get paid, or you go out and start your own business and take that chance, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you fail. But, racing is very mental. A lot of it is. And if you're down about the whole situation before you get there, you're going to suck. And, for me to be able to say, hey, I'm going to go here this week. I might leave here and drive to Deer Creek. I might leave Deer Creek and come back and run this. It's just, if I have it in my mind that I want to do it, I tend to do better. And I think a lot of people are like that. And, sometimes you just need to say, I'm taking this week off. Like, I'm not going to Batesville. I'm not going to Cherokee. Yeah. And that's the, it's got its pros and cons, but I'm pretty realistic, and I know where I stand in racing, and there's just some places that aren't my place, and if I have to go there that weekend, I'm not giving our team a good chance to make money, not giving myself a good chance to sleep at night with good mental well-being. So it's just easier to do it that way. And I feel like I'm fortunate that I have everybody that supports me and lets me do it, but at the same time, I live within my means. Like, I'd love to have a Lamborghini. I don't have one, because I know that's, is it attainable? Absolutely. But sometimes you just got to be realistic with yourself. And, I'm fortunate. I get to race. I want to race, and that's my main priority and things like that. So as long as I can continue to race and, buy my animals some food and do what I'm doing, I'm pretty happy with it.
Which is a hell of a guard dog.
Yeah, that's a wrestler.
Yeah, well, he knew I wasn't supposed to be in here.
Yeah.
He tried to take my damn leg off. Yeah. One of the funniest things, every interview you do is like, I hope he didn't shit in the truck.
Yeah.
Knowing you, how many times has he shit in the truck? Because that's got to be an issue, or you wouldn't say it.
Twice. Like, the first trip he did it, which I've only had him for like a month and a half now. But yeah, I'm pretty clean, OCD, and I don't like shit or throw up or piss. And that's like, I try not to worry about it during the day, but I'm like, man, I hope this little bastard didn't shit in the truck while we're out here.
Yeah, so. I guarantee he becomes a little bit of a problem, but he's a cool little dog. When you talk about the mental well-being of yourself, how hard is it to live on the road, to be away from your family, and because you put in probably more miles each year on the road than most guys that do this for a living. So how hard is it mentally where you're just like, is there ever a day where you're just like, damn, why am I doing this?
Today I slept. I slept till like 3:30 because I was just like, man, if I wake up at 10, I'm gonna sit here and fucking stress, and like it is what it is. But I mean, like I like my crew guys. I like Caleb. I like Cody. That's why I don't bring 20 people to the racetrack, because I couldn't live with 20 people. I'd kill them. So it's just, you gotta surround yourself with people you can get along with and live with in close quarters, and that you can enjoy sitting there at McDonald's at 4 a.m. and you're not like, God damn, this guy stinks. Like, I can't. You know what I mean? Like that.
That would drive me crazy. Like I've run across guys like that. I'm thinking, I don't care how good of a crew guy you are.
Yeah, all that plays a role in it, but it's not too bad. Like I said, I want to do it, and I don't have to be here. So, and I'm not saying I could be something bigger and better. I'm just saying, if I didn't want to be here today, I wouldn't be here. So it's really not terrible, because when it's going good, you're like, hell yeah, I want to go again, and then you get beat down a little bit and start sucking, and you're like, well, the only way I can get back to that feeling of I want to do it again is I got to keep racing. So yeah, there's a couple points in the year where we're like, all right, we're just done for this week. Like we're calling it off.
Regardless of what we got playing, this is it for the week.
Yeah, and that's kind of, you just got to be real with yourself and say, all right, I'm done. Like today we're not doing shit. Like everybody go home, everybody do whatever they want to do, or go home for the weekend, and then we'll come back Monday and get after it again.
Well, see, that's a great way to set yourself up, because there's a lot of kids I see running up and down the road that beat themselves up and out of the business in 5 or 6 years, because everybody thinks this is a luxury life. I mean, you got 4 fire suits hanging here where you've been Febrezing them. I mean, you're getting everything cleaned up. You're already thinking about tomorrow, and like you said, Monday we're putting a motor in the car. So, like, I understand the even kill, but for your age, I just don't understand how you do it, because you're wise beyond your years.
Yeah, like I said, I'm an only child. I grew up around adults. I had to work. Believe it or not, I did have to work when I was a kid until I started doing this, probably when I was 19 or 20. And yeah, I just, it could be worse. Like I said, like I'm very lucky to be able to do this, and my family isn't the one paying to do it. Like a random interaction has led to this, and it's been the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. So yeah, you just surround yourself around people that are even keel too, and not up and down. I can sit here in this pit area and tell you 5 people that I don't think will be here in 5 years, just because they go about racing wrong. And this is a losing sport. Nobody wins more than 50% of the time. Nobody wins more than 30%. 30%,
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
So if you can be okay at night and go to sleep and realize, hey, you're not going to win every day. It is what it is. Now, obviously, you put yourself in the best chance, and you do everything, and you go with full fucking intent to win, but it's just life. It's reality. You're going to suck and lose way more than you win. So if I wanted to do something like that, I'd be like, well, I fucking work at McDonald's today, and I'm going to make my hamburger. Well, that's just not where we're at. So, yeah, you just got to just be realistic with yourself. Read a lot, listen to a lot of podcasts, listen to music, whatever it takes to keep your mind, centered and focused on what you're doing.
Well, I'm not going to keep you, because you squeezed me in right before the driver's meeting, and I appreciate that, because this is an interview that I wish we had about 45 minutes, because there's a lot of stuff I can dive into. But I was at Gateway the year that you won, and when you lost your dad. And I'm not going to say I knew something was wrong, but I just seen your demeanor that week, and I could tell it was a different Turbo. I didn't know if it was a deal where you were losing your ride at the end of the year, but so I could tell something was off. And when you won Gateway, and then your mom and you guys celebrate on the front stretch, that was like something movies are made of. Yeah. Like, how in the hell does all that just come together?
I don't know. It's just the way I'm not saying it's luck or whatever. It's just the way my life has been played out for 28 years. It's always shit like that. Like, people think a lot of the stuff we do and I say is like, an act, and it's not. It's just, I fucking take it the way it comes. And that whole weekend was obviously a very sad situation, but I mean, that's kind of my my nature and my build, like, I could have loaded up and went home, and I could have fucking cried about it all week. But, like, and what at the end of the day, what changes? You know, there's nothing you can do to change a lot of the stuff that happens. So I was like, called my car owner, told him, and actually I didn't even call him till it was all said and done. But it was like, I'm already here. It's already, I mean, this was the fucking plan for the week. So
we're just gonna go through with it.
Yeah, we just ride it out, and if I flip over and this thing burns to the ground, it's meant that's what was supposed to happen this week. So yeah, it's a tough deal, but like I said, it's all mental. A lot of this stuff is mental, and when your mind's right and you know can focus on what you're doing, you can normally come out on the better end of a lot of things. And you know, as bad as the whole weekend was, everything around it, that was best case scenario from that point on. So yeah, it worked out, and you know, now it's something at Gateway. It's a part of the history of the event. Everybody remembers that. So it's something that'll definitely never be forgotten.
Well, speaking of everybody remembers something, you probably don't remember this because you've done this 100 times. But earlier this year, you pulled in Brownstown Speedway, and you know, I build race cars, and I put a body on for a guy. And I get to Brownstown, and this little kid comes up to me, Cole. He comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you're not gonna believe this." And I said, "What?" He goes, "Man, Turbo gave me his front bumper."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah." And so he's, you know, proud of it. And Philip tells me, he goes, "Yeah, now I'm gonna have to take that summit apart because Cole says it's going in his room." So he was like,
"Yeah."
And he kept saying, "That's cool as hell, Turbo, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, but you did Turbo more of a favor than he did you, buddy."
Yeah, he wanted the filler pan. I remember he wanted the filler panel, and I was like, "If you fucking take the whole thing, you can have it. I'm not taking it apart." Like, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I like kids. I'll give anybody anything. I just, you know, you got to catch me in the right mood. Some people probably are like, "Oh man, this guy, he wouldn't give me shit," but like, I'm on day 30 and I gotta have spoilers, so like, I can't give you everything I got. But yeah, it's cool.
Well, they're starting the car up, as you can hear in the background. I don't want to keep you all night. I'd love to. Maybe we can meet up again off to the Hell Tour and actually do an interview. How I might ride up to Ohio. It's not for like 4 hours. We hang out one night, but we appreciate you, you know, filling us in, you know, making spot for us. I had to call in a favor on Tyler Nicely, another Kentucky boy that I give shit all the time. I say, "Hey, I know I'm running behind, but I know you've been traveling with Turbo all week, so make sure you get some time for me." So shout out to Tyler Nicely, and thank you again for Uncle T, Turbo, Days of Turbo, General Lee, whatever you want to call him. Just don't call him an asshole because he's a good guy. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
There we go, Flash. That was Turbo Tyler Erb, Uncle T, second in Hell Tour points. You know, it was a fascinating interview. Anytime you can chat with I say super late model superstar, dirt model superstar. Yeah. He says in the interview, I mean, he's not shit. He just, I mean, if he walks in Walmart and the guy don't know him, he ain't shit.
Yeah.
So that's but
yeah, I didn't like Turbo when I first started watching, but man, he's grown on me. I really like that dude.
Yeah, that's
he's just a wheel man. I mean, I like somebody who gives 110% every time they're on the racetrack, and that's what he does.
And one thing that I really like about Turbo is, you know, he's Mr. Personality.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he'll say what's on his mind.
Yep.
Too many guys in the late model world they don't want to say shit.
Yeah, they don't want to say nothing.
No, well, I'll take that back. They want to bitch about the racetrack, but they don't want to say nothing else.
Yeah.
But Turbo, you know, tells you what's on his mind, right, wrong, or indifferent. But we really appreciate Turbo for coming on the show, and going, you know, like I say, going forward, we're gonna have a deep dive, like a deep dive with Turbo.
Yeah.
You know, I know, you know, he's looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it, and we stayed in touch. So there's some things that he wants to discuss, and we might even have some Turbo breaking news on our show when we do it.
Yeah.
Maybe. If you don't break it before then.
Right.
Because we all know, you know, we don't know. We know.
Yeah.
Everybody don't know. We were going to have a really big breaking news podcast.
Yeah.
And then, you know, hey, Wallace! he came in and swooped up on us. So that's just for the few people that was involved in that know that.
Right.
You know, you'll get a laugh out of that. But, yeah, so, you know, thanks for Tyler Erb for making time for us on not a short notice because he knew it was happening, but short notice and time wise.
Yeah, he was in a time crunch when you did it. Yeah.
Very, very, very big time crunch, and I really appreciate And he blew a motor up the night before.
Right.
So he really could have told me, man, let's just push this back. And I was cool if he did.
Yeah.
Honestly. And as I told him, I said, man, we're good. He said, nah, man, let's do it.
Yeah.
And if it goes well, we'll do another. So I think it went well.
Yeah.
He wants to do another. So this week's racetrack spotlight is going to be the Paragon Speedway because as we talked about, Bloomington Speedway has $10,000 to win, Huntley Sprint Car Series.
Yeah.
And then they followed up Saturday night with a $3,000 to win. So they're going to have cars from all over the country travel to Central Indiana for the IMCA Race Saver 305 Wing Sprint Cars. Paragon Speedway, this week's racetrack spotlight brought to you by JT's Trackside and Catering. Paragon Speedway is Flash got to make his way up there this year.
First time I've ever been there, and I kind of missed out. I mean, cause it's, the track's like really nice now. I know you said it used to not be as nice, but the race in there is good. Yeah, well,
Paragon, as our buddy Pat Sullivan said, Paragon International Super Speedway.
Yeah,
straightaways are long, corners are tight.
Straightaways forever.
Yeah. Corners are tight. High banked racetrack. Sit on the hillside. Beautiful setting there in Paragon, Indiana. The only kind of gripe is there's no real easy way to get to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not bad.
It's not just terrible, but there's no interstate to get to.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
You just plan on taking a little drive in the country if you're going.
It's a 2-lane road racetrack, but racetrack's beautiful. One of the best pit areas in all of racing in Indiana.
Yeah.
Got a big flat spot to the right, and what I like is they park the sprint cars on the far end and the other divisions on the other end. They got a push-off chute.
Right.
The push trucks don't even got to pull onto the racetrack.
They don't have to get on the racetrack.
They push the cars off and then circle right back around.
It's a nice setup the way they got that.
As the kids say, Paragon has their shit together.
Oh yeah.
Super nice place. And one of the few dirt tracks in the country. I know most of them are starting to do this now, but one of the very first dirt tracks that take debit and credit cards.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to have cash for hooking the kids in. They don't got to get money from mom and dad. They just use their card.
Right.
But Paragon Speedway, if you're in the area,
it's got like a little terrace seating area up in the corner going into like one down there where they can set up there. I mean, like a lot of guys take their 4-wheelers up there, but I've seen a lot of chairs there too.
And got damn good cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah.
One of the racetracks that has amazing cheeseburgers is Paragon Speedway. So with the being JT Trackside Catering racetrack spotlight, we'll talk about a food product.
Yeah.
Great cheeseburgers there at Paragon. But if you're in the Central Indiana area, make sure if you're looking for a double this weekend and you don't have nothing going on, Bloomington Speedway Friday night, Paragon Speedway Saturday night will be a great double.
Yeah.
Flash talked about earlier how you wish there was racing on every night this week. Good news, there is. Monday night, high limit sprint cars at Fremont, Ohio.
Yeah.
Talk about another bull ring that races a lot like Lake Cumberland.
Yeah.
Small bull ring, get up on the wall. High limit sprint cars are there. I think Chase Rodman said that they're expecting their largest car count of the year because a lot of guys from Pennsylvania are coming in to head to the Kings Royal this weekend.
Right.
So they're going to make a whole week out of it.
They run the wing sprint cars every week there, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. They have. They have about 24, 25 cars every week.
Some of their guys will be trying to make that show, I'm sure.
Yeah, guys like Caleb Henry is going to be like, come take this money from me. So
come on, boys.
Come on and get you some of this. But Fremont, and then also Monday, the Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals, what I was trying to spit out earlier.
Oh, yeah.
But guess where they are Monday? On Flow. Bulls Gap. Volunteer Speedway.
Volunteer Speedway.
And not only that, I think they got a 125 lap enduro following. Yeah. That there's like 70 cars already in it.
Yeah, I think they
do. If you're looking for something to do on a Monday night and you watch the sprint car feature and you flip over and you're like, all right, we're going to check the late model. What's the hoopah about Bulls Gap? First off, it's going to be to the floor.
Yeah.
Wide open, hammer down with a cushion. That's the way Bulls Gap is.
Yep.
But it's be worth your viewing pleasure. So you got that Monday. Tuesday night, the Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals heads down to I-75 Raceway.
Yeah.
That will be on Flow as well.
That's another good racetrack.
That's another good track. That made its way around. That went viral a few years ago.
Yeah.
When Ashton Winger had a nasty one.
Ashton and Mac McCartney.
It was Mac.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was Mac and Ashton had a little
run in there.
Yeah, run in, run off, run out.
They was trading sliders too.
Yeah,
that was a really good race until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
So if late models is your thing, Tuesday night, Flow's got you covered. If you love wing sprint car racing, and you want another huge car count, and you want to support somebody that does great for racing, the Brad Doty Classic will be on Dirt Vision from Attica Raceway Park racetrack that is badass.
Yeah.
Been there. Hell, it's been 25 years ago since I've been there, but it just gets better.
Yeah.
But Attica. Fun fact about Attica Raceway Park: I seen Dave Darling do the double that night.
Oh yeah.
Won the sprint and the midget.
The midgets.
Yeah, USAC race. So, not that anybody cares, but like I said, when I was at Attica, that's what went down.
Yeah.
So that's a Tuesday night. Wednesday and Thursday, high limits at Eldora.
Yeah.
For something Jokers jackpot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Another major paying sprint car race.
Yeah.
Wednesday and Thursday. Friday and Saturday, the World of Outlaw sprint cars roll in, which i.e. the same guys just stay there. We change sanctioning names, and you can't watch it on Flow. You got to flip over to Dirt Vision.
Yeah.
For the Kings Royal.
Same guys, just different.
Yeah. Same guys, but different.
Yeah.
Ready to be on Dirt Vision for the $100,000 to win Kings Royal. Friday and Saturday this week, the Lucas Oil Late Model Series are at the Huset's High Bank Nationals. Racetrack that's on the bucket list.
Yeah.
And Thursday night, Flash. IMCA stock cars, $5,000 to win on Flow. Huset's High Bank, no, on Dirt Vision.
Oh yeah.
IMCA stock cars, $5,000 to win on Dirt Vision, and then flip over Friday and Saturday. You can watch it because Lucas Oil will be there, but flip flop deal there too.
Yeah.
But IMCA stock cars Thursday night will be at the Huset's High Bank Nationals. And then Saturday night, the racetrack that we just talked about, Lake Cumberland Speedway. If you're in the area, they're gonna have an amazing show.
Oh yeah.
If I'm putting it this way, I would go there as a fan this week if we didn't have somewhere that we had to go work related.
Yep.
But the Topless Outlaw Late Model Series has been averaging about 35 to 45 cars. Put on a phenomenal show. We were down at Sonoya when we were there. They are going to be there. That's a reason one to go. But reason number two, the Buckeye Outlaw Super Sprints.
Yeah.
And when I say Super Sprints, 410 non-wing sprint cars making their first ever visit at the Lake Cumberland Speedway. A track that's going to be juiced up with a cushion.
Yep.
There is a chance you may see an unidentified flying object on the radar. Hopefully it goes, well, I hope it don't go out of either turn.
Yeah.
But if you go out of 3 or 4, you got a chance to land at the charcoal factory.
Yeah.
You got 1 or 2, you got a chance to land in the damn lake.
Yeah.
So, but Lake Cumberland Speedway this weekend. So if you're in Central Kentucky and you want to know what all the hype is about non-wing sprint car racing, if you listen, I know a lot of people listen and say, well, we don't really get to see those non-wing cars.
Yeah.
It's worth the drive. It's worth it.
The Topless Outlaws, is that the one Kinzer runs with?
Yes.
Yeah. So he should be there.
Yeah, Brandon Kinzer will be there. Second in points.
Yeah.
Zach and Trevor Seiss will be there. Zach Seiss, Lake Cumberland Speedway. I think I've seen him win 5 or 6 times in crate, super, anything he runs.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll be there. So should be a good car count down
really
there.
Good show, yeah.
And then Saturday, Flash and I are making our way to the Smoky Mountain Speedway for the Cumberland Plateau Modified Series, the Cumberland Plateau Mini Mod Series,
the
Sportsman Late Models, the Street Stocks, and the Front Wheel Drives.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on at the Smoky Mountain Speedway. We haven't really decided exactly what we're doing, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be a trip over to Gatlinburg since it's a baseball throwaway.
Right.
Don't know exactly what the plans are yet because we kind of figure shit out on the fly, but that's where we'll be for this week's race at Smoky Mountain. I don't want to misspeak, but we'll just talk about all of our sponsors real quick just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure this is a Tench Excavating, T&D Diesel Repair sponsored event, but it may be a Ramsey Excavating one. I don't know because I don't really have all the paperwork here.
Yeah.
But both of those guys come on recently, and thank you to Full Moon Graphics, American Racer Tire South. Doing all this stuff off the top of my head. Trading Sliders Podcast. We're part of the group. Thank you to us. We get a heat race. Brandon Kinzer and the Will Kinzer Racing for Autism. Bandit Race Cars. I think that's about it. Diamond Auto Collision.
Yeah.
And there's one more that I always forget. Well, I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it on that. But get out, support a local racetrack this week. You don't have to travel all the way to Smoky Mountain with us.
Yeah.
If you like to, come hang out.
Yep. You can go north, south,
east or west.
Yeah.
Southeast, northwest.
Yep.
You go wherever the hell you want.
Yeah.
So there's races all over, but if you're in Central Indiana, like I said, make sure you stop by Bloomington and Paragon. That's an event that needs to be supported.
And it will be a good race.
And and the race will not suck.
No.
And Bloomington Speedway. Guess what? Guess what the undercard is at Bloomington?
What's that?
Two cool things. Non-wing sprint cars.
Yeah.
So that's the undercard.
Well, yeah, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, so you're not going to go wrong there. It's a really cool deal. The bounty is still on Lee Hobbs.
Oh, yeah?
Lee Hobbs won again. The bounty is back. So Indiana Superstock. So they're going to be trying to knock the old man off.
Yeah.
Hammer down, rough with a cushion. He's got it. Slow and slick. He's got it.
Yeah.
So Lee Hobbs still, the bounty is still alive. So that's what's going on in Bloomington. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
get out, support your local racetrack. Thank you for over 5,000 listens again. Thank you for the guys that listen around the country. If you're on one of those Twitter machines or Facebook and you got friends in other countries, send them the show. Hell, we'd like to.
If you're one of the guys from out of the country, shoot us an email about how you heard about it. Or,
yeah. Tag the show. Yeah.
Something. Comment something.
Yeah. Comment. Like. Subscribe. Oh, one more thing. Flash. We're almost about to make money.
Oh yeah.
I don't really like pushing this stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to. Guys, our numbers are so good on Spotify.
Yeah.
So good. We need 32 more subscribers.
Yeah.
If we get 32 more subscribers, they're going to start cutting us a check because our numbers are so good.
We're going to get $3.
Yeah. So if you want to help out, subscribe to Spotify because we are 32 subscribers away from them to give us $1 a month.
Yeah.
Which don't really go nowhere, but it would be cool to say, hey, we get paid doing this.
Yeah.
But you got anything else, Flash?
No, I don't think so.
So until next time, we'll be trading sliders.